We're all sane, I promise.
Put that down and have a salad instead.
That's just Johnny 5 with Kim Kardashian's ass stuck on the back.
And now the new one, Johnny Bag.
Not in for Brian.
Little small USB. We'll talk about it when it's over.
Two weeks in and Barry's making skin suits. I did my Uncle Fester one.
Uncle Festering.
Pull the other one, Dave. Hard, Dave.
And Dara Marmite. And I'll let you think about that. Because I'm a twisted sod that way.
That's a dick.
I'm working on it.
Hello, we're back, and it's Bad Preppers, which is not supposed to be prep related, but it's going to be. But we thought we'd do it like this so we could say what the fuck we want. So make sure the kids are well away from the speakers. Anyone with a sensitive disposition, why have you joined a stream with Brian on in the first place? That would be my question.
I was going to say what we want, as opposed to what? The norm?
We do censor ourselves on the fireside a little bit, or I try to.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyway, loads of people in the chat already. 99 people as soon as we've started, which is great because this is an impromptu thing. But there's so much news, Brian. There's so much shit going on. Where do we start? is the question.
There's nothing good.
We'll start with the reason I wanted to do this. Somebody posted on Discord. I'll pop it on the screen here now. GB News posted this. Labour may soon need to restrict food supplies, hospitals, schools, and transport networks if the crisis continues. And then at the bottom, same thing with food rationing if the Strait of Hormuz remains shut. Now, we know as soon as the mainstream media starts to talk about things, and I get GB News is not fully mainstream. It's like the one step down, slightly right-leaning mainstream, but it's still mainstream. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
100%. Even if there was never a shortage in toilet rolls.
Yeah, did you say that article was from something, some interview or something?
Yeah, the guy, Professor Butler, he's now an energy consultant, but he was the vice president with BP. He's got 30 years industry experience in the oil and gas game. And he did an interview on the radio yesterday. And this is all off the back of that. And he's basically turned around and said, listen, if this goes on for 2 to 3 weeks more, we will have to have some form of rationing in terms of fuel and possibly foodstuffs here. The reason that he tacked on foodstuffs and things was because the distribution networks are reliant on fuel. So if you've got no fuel, then you have to make priorities. And he listed a few things on the criteria.
But as soon as this is reported on, is that not going to reduce that 2 to 3 weeks now?
If it goes mainstream, I mean, the thing is at the moment, it's so underreported here. If you look at Sri Lanka and Pakistan and India and the Asian markets at the moment, they've taken the initial hit. So Sri Lanka's in a 4-day week. Pakistan's in a 4-day week. Myanmar has got fuel rationing. Pakistan's got fuel rationing, so Sri Lanka. So for Sri Lanka, you need a QR code to buy fuel, and you're only allowed so much. Yeah.
Sorry, this is the biased broadcast company, but yeah, see them queuing up there around the block. That's absolute madness.
So in Myanmar, what they do is on one day it's odd numbered registration plates can buy fuel, and then the next day it's even numbers, like that.
So somebody's job is literally to check their number plates, everybody who comes through for fuel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, It's underreported here because and I answered this in Discord or on my channel earlier, that but we only get a small amount of oil and gas from the Middle East. Yes, but we're part of a global economy, and when one part takes the hit, if you get blood loss in your body, the whole suffers, not just the part that's leaking the red stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like that. So at the moment, the world is hemorrhaging the black stuff, and we will take our share of pain from that. Whether that's in having to buy it in the global market, inflated prices, or even companies breaking contracts and just turning the tankers around and going somewhere else where they're going to pay twice as much.
Yeah.
And that's happened before.
Yeah, and I believe it, definitely. And it's the price as well, because if it pushes up, I mean, I think Iran said they wanted to push it to $200 a barrel and really make people suffer, which is double what we're on now. We're going to have rationing purely through the price tag, right?
Yeah, and companies will be going to the wall. So if you think of haulage companies, they contract for fixed costs, right? The price that they paid, or they based the contract on last week or the week before, it's now a third or half what it was, more expensive again. There'll be companies going to the wall. When I start seeing haulage companies in the UK going down the tubes, I'll start worrying even more then.
Yeah. Oh, another company collapsed today. See, NCP went.
Yeah, the car park place. Seen that.
Yeah. I don't know how you fuck up that model. We've got land. Everything's automated. You park there and pay us. How do you mess that model up?
I think they killed the golden goose by overcharging.
Yeah.
Almost like a certain country that we live in. They just tax you to death.
Yeah, until there's nothing left to tax. There's more benefit recipients and taxpayers at one point if it carries on the way it is. And we all know you love them people. So
everybody that can work should work. I don't think that's an unreasonable premise to get through life on.
No. That's I can fully agree. There's always something to do. There's shit to be picked up, and there's potholes to be filled. What used to be the cheapest garage around here is now the dearest, says Mel.
There's going to be profiteering. As soon as they're charging you more, when there's a crisis develops in oil or gas that's mentioned, they put the prices up straight away. Anybody that does that should have been convicted of some sort of crime. And if it's not a crime, it should be one, because they've paid a cost for that and they're gouging the market because they know it's went up. They bought it cheaper.
What do you think of Granny Harmer's solutions for this? Because he said, we're introducing the government fuel tracker so you can find the cheapest fuel.
Right. So you can find which one of the overly inflated prices you can cope with the best. Right. How does that work? How about maybe taking some of the duty off the cost of fuel, which makes up most of the cost of fuel? They could
40% of it or something like that.
Yeah, it's massive. It's massive. Yeah. They could take the pain out of the equation by taking it off their cut, but they won't do that because they've got a captive market. They know people need fuel, and yet the overheads will kill industry.
Yeah, it's madness. It's madness. I saw that literally the last 3 times I've put fuel in, there's been queues. So people are wise to it already. I went in the supermarket today and there was empty shelves, not on the pasta and toilet rolls at the moment, but on some of the fresh meats and stuff like that. So it's I think it's starting to affect some things.
They've been very good at keeping out the news and dumbing it down. That'll come to a tipping point where they can't do that any longer. I was talking to one of the subscribers today, and he's been following the fuel because he lives on an agricultural plot. Yeah. And he was trying to get a diesel delivered for the farm. They wouldn't give him a price, refused to give him a price. And then it used to be you could phone up one day and they'd be there the next day with a tanker full of red diesel. Wouldn't do it. So he had the delivery day of 1,000 litres. He still doesn't know what he's going to pay for it. Hasn't a clue. It takes it under those conditions.
What, except under no price?
Absolutely. How crazy is that? He hasn't got a clue what he's going to pay. The office will tell him. when they bill them.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm opening a new section of my merch store, guys. So go in there, buy stuff. There'll be no prices on there. Just buy what you want, and then I'll send you the bill.
And then off the back of that, he's telling me that the two major companies in the area, which are pretty much UK-based multinational, UK-based big companies, have said that one's 7 days to get a delivery, and the guy was starting at 6 in the morning to try and cope with the backlog, and the other one's a week and a half. Now, that doesn't inspire confidence in me. So we're running later, we're delivering more, still can't keep up with demand, and yet we can't give you a price for it either. Does that tell you that everything's sunshine and lollipops in Shangri-La?
Well, it is all sunshine. This week is all sunshine, so it doesn't matter, right?
No, up here it's not.
Well, yeah. I mean, you live in like hell, so beautiful, beautiful countryside. Just no blue skies. No, it is probably a bit of a benefit that we are coming out of winter, though, right? When we talk about the heat and the weather and stuff like that, that's the saving grace behind this. If this conflict runs on for 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is,
It's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Well,
how long
it's
will
going to
that
matter.
knock-on effect? Yeah, but how long will that knock-on effect be? I mean, Trump said today, I believe, one of the reporters asked about the prices going up and stuff like that, and he said as soon as Iran, the war is over, you watch all your prices just hit the bottom like a rock. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Let's look at market history on fuel then. So it goes up and up and up and up and up until people start losing their minds and there's a clamour. Eventually they drop it down a bit. So they put it up 20 pence. People shout uncle. They drop it down 10 pence and people go, thank Christ. Never goes below that. It never goes back to what it used to be.
Yeah.
It always stays that little bit higher.
It's always up, then down, and then up even further, then down, and then up. It's 2 steps forwards and 1 step back, right? It's
absolutely.
We've got line dancing petrol pumps. Got it at 150 for diesel, says Mr. T USA. There's loads of price. Let us know what you're paying for your fuel at the moment. I was 159.9 on the way out this morning, and that was from what should be the cheapest garage around here.
Octopus Energy. People will say it's okay if you get an electric car or electricity, that kind of thing. But it's not. Octopus Energy refused to take on and cut out a raft of new old, like the smart tariffs. They cut a lot of them last week. Right. And refuse to take new ones on until they get it resolved. So the market is nervous and they're waiting to see what's going to happen. Energy costs is going to affect everybody and it's going to affect inflation. Yeah.
$3.19 a gallon in rural Oklahoma. That seems much fairer than we're paying. What's a gallon? 4 and a bit liters, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. and their money, it's not quite what we would pay for a litre. Yeah. But basically, what I think it'll work out something like we would pay for 2 litres what they get for a gallon of gas.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're double them practically, if not a bit more. 169.9 for diesel, says Pookie. 179 I paid today, says Boom James. It was 175.9 for diesel where I was working today. That's just madness, isn't it?
So it's getting up there.
See, this is where you see the difference. This is a good metric here. Full tank used to be 80 quid for me, but yesterday it was 93. Because, I mean, so my son was just down and he's, just about to turn 20 kind of thing. And he says, he's as bright as, a rusty shoe. When I was talking about it to him, I was like, oh yeah, it's gone up 10p a litre. All he heard was 10p. So it's like, that's fine. It's 10p. But when you get the metric of filling your car up like that, yeah, it's madness. And when you've got a coach or a truck, that soon adds up.
There was a social media influencer. There was a girl on, I think it was yesterday. I saw it yesterday and today. She had said that she's not bothered and people shouldn't be worried because she went and put in £20 of petrol, right? and today she put in £20 of petrol and it was still the same. Like, what? You vacuous amoeba, what the actual fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, the next generation. Future leaders. The worst thing is, you referred to her as an influencer. What is that amoeba brain melon influencing?
Bad influencer.
Well, we're them too. in a
Well,
way.
there is that. Yeah, but we do it with a laugh and a smile.
Look at that. 135 yesterday in Coventry. That's the unleaded, I assume.
That's cheap.
174, says Matty Jones. I mean,
So we're looking at an average about
160
173.
That's mad. Yeah, that's
And
mad.
don't forget, the chap that had went on the interview yesterday, Professor Bolton, Burton, whatever it was, he'd said if things don't stabilise within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we've only been in this game for the last 2 weeks, there or thereabouts. Look where we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trump can say whatever he likes. He's already declared the war over 3 or 4 times. Well, there's still shit blowing up every day. The Iranians have got a vote in this.
Yeah, he said today that there's no Air Force left, there's no Navy left. They've decimated their ground troops. So I'm like, okay, so what?
That's great.
Who's shooting the rockets? The hedgehogs and the squirrels?
And they're pretty dedicated squirrels. You know, they seem to be in it for the long haul. So unless things change, and here's our thing:
Nutbar.
if you shoot everybody that's given the orders, who's going to tell them to stop shooting?
Yeah,
they're killing every tranche command and control.
Yeah, but again, that's a moot point with this because it's a fundamental ideology. So whoever's in charge is just a figurehead, right? It's like the Pope. He's the messenger. He's the conduit to God. The guy in charge of them, as far as they're concerned, is sat in a cloud pointing at things, you know.
Yeah.
And that's who they answer to, and that's who they're doing this in service of. So you cannot decapitate strike God.
You can't be an idea or an ideology. Can't do it. It's never going to work. Now, if this continues like he asserts for another 2 to 3 weeks, at least we've got problems. We have got problems. We've got problems now.
I think that's a long estimate. I see it sooner. Only because of that mainstream, only because GB News is part of mainstream media and they've reported that already. ITV will be looking at that. Channel 4 will be looking at that. All the others will be looking at that thinking they've reported it. Should we? Because don't forget, we know bad news sells, right? We see that on YouTube. If they think GB News are getting traffic and hits because they're reporting this thing and they're not getting it, what are they going to do?
Yeah. Think about this. During the scamdemic even, a lot of companies went to the wall and overheads went through the roof and companies couldn't keep up and they went down the Swanee. A lot of companies have only just got over that over the last 5 years, rebuilt up to level again. What do they think? They don't have massive cash reserves. If you've got a family-run business as a haulier and you've got 4 or 5 wagons on the road, margins are tight. You've got maintenance costs, insurance costs, wages, all of that good stuff, all the overheads in a modern business. You don't have the money to put up 50 pence a litre and take the hit on it. When you're talking about maybe a 50, even 100-gallon tank.
Especially in this country where you've also already just been hit for your national insurance, employer contributions and everything else they didn't raise taxes on.
Yep. So these companies are going to go down. They're going to go down. Even your local bus companies.
Well,
they're running tight margins.
No, that's sorry. Where has it gone? Somebody said their public transport already costs a fortune. Looking forward to that going up yet again.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's not, because like I say, we're a couple of weeks into this. I'm surprised we've not seen that manifest already. Now, is that because it's been artificially suppressed at the top?
Well, didn't they subsidize all bus fares for a long time, the last government? It was like, I'm sure London bus fares were like down to £3. The maximum fare thing was like £3 or something like that to try and encourage more people to use public transport. But I mean, they must have been paying massive money to these bus companies to subsidise that.
Yep. Mr. TUSA put in a good question, mate.
This one.
That's the one.
Does the UK have a plan for going empty on fuel? The UK doesn't have a plan for anything. The last time the UK had a plan, it was protect and fucking survive. 30 pages of how to put a shed door over your family and watch them burn to a fucking crisp in a nuclear war.
That's and paint your windows white.
Yeah, paint your windows white, yeah.
And stack the doors, right, with plastic bags full of clothing.
Yep.
Right? So your white painted windows, your highly flammable bags of shit on top of the wooden doors, and your breeze block house 3 meters from the epicenter of the blast, you'll be fine.
Welcome to the crematorium. Basically,
I was reading
they
a
want
bit
you
of
to
it.
cremate yourself so there's less fucking cleanup.
They do have a plan.
Okay.
And it comes in at different stages.
Enlighten me.
I can't quote it, mate, because it was a long-winded pile of shit. But basically, they'll go for essential services first that will get fuel. And that'll be military, police, fire, ambulance.
Yeah.
Then it'll be distribution. You're at the last end.
Yeah. We would lose. I've said this many a times, even back in the day when people were talking about, oh no, fossil fuels are running out. It's like, all right, okay, in about 200 years maybe. But when they were saying all that, I was like, we'll stop getting fuel for vehicles a long time before fossil fuels run out, because they'll need a backlog for military, for emergency services, for logistics, for everything like that. And this is the same case scenario, right?
Guess where we buy a lot of our fuel from? We're oil.
Is it Norway who drill it from the same point we don't anymore?
Yep. Yep. We pay more for others to give us it, right? Now, we've got vast natural reserves of oil and gas, but we have got Muppets in charge. Now, they shut down Longannet Power Station, which had been made one of the cleanest burning coal-fired stations in Europe. They spent millions making sure that it had carbon capture filters in place, and then they blew it up and flattened it. Now, that is the energy-controlled manner in which we work. The idiots. We've got enough natural resources that we could have a controlled changeover to cleaner burning energies. So we could have a controlled changeover to nuclear, something that will give us a good backbone to run the grid. We don't. So we're giving up lots of high-paid jobs in the offshore sector. Where are they working? Where are these guys going to go? And how do we get them back?
Well, Granny Harmer also said that they were reducing legislation, which means the nuclear power stations will get built faster.
Right.
Well, I mean, what's faster? Because we're already how many years overdue?
10 years over the last project, 10 years and double the budget, and it still hasn't produced enough electricity to light up a fucking light bulb.
What will be finished first, the power station or HS2? That's
there was a 14-year connection queue to get systems onto the grid. They've now reduced that to 7.
And China is opening coal plants left, right, and center.
Yep.
And using the natural resources. But it's the carbon footprint, bollocks, right? That's all this is down to that, right? I kid you not. I sat in a frigging 1-hour thing today at work about reducing carbon footprint. And it makes me laugh because the size of our country and the size of our population, reducing our carbon footprint, wonderful, great. Let's save Fluffy the squirrel and all of that lot. Excellent, all for it. At the same time, China, because we're exporting everything we possibly need to do, is churning out 10 times as much because they've got the industry. So we're not getting rid of our carbon footprint. We're exporting it. It's still harming the same goddamn planet.
And everything we're choosing to do in a renewable format is toxic. So if you put batteries in your home or you buy power banks, all the horrible processes to make all that shit, right? It's toxic. Your
Yeah.
wind turbines, they're toxic. We're making lots of forever things that'll never disappear on this mad rush. Now, I'm all for a control changeover, but we've not got that.
Yeah. Welsh Prepper said, yes, it has national emergency plan for fuel. It's open source. Cat 1 and Cat 2 responders will get priority. Is there a timeline on that, Welsh Prepper? At what point is it implemented? That's the question. Because we've already tapped into the strategic reserve.
Which made not a jot of difference.
Yeah, I know. And we've got less than 30 days worth in the first place of refined reserve.
They released the largest volume into the market to try and stabilise things. And if you looked at it in a graph, it fixed things that much and then it just went back up again.
Yeah. 105, I think, last time I checked. I don't know if it's gone up since, but yeah.
Mental.
It's nuts. It's nuts. Somebody said as well, did I star it? Yeah. Just as well that I only commute 3 miles each way to work. That's all well and good, but your name is UK Mechanic. If there's no other cars on the road, what the fuck are you fixing?
Something else the chap was telling me today when he was on about the fuel deliveries. The driver had told him they'd been warned to look out for people following their vehicles when they're delivering fuel. Think about that. Now, what does that tell you about the future?
Max.
Right? They're worried about a fuel shortage if they're worried about the tankers being followed.
That is mental. That's Mad Max. That is Mad Max territory. I'm going to apply for the job of the flamethrower gunner on the top of the fuel tanker. You know, the one at the back on the spike thing.
I don't like to label things, but I'm sure that was a woman and she'd better tits than you.
And probably me, fuel tanker and flamethrower was not a good idea with my track record.
You would put 1 foot on the tank and it would spontaneously combust on the spot. It would just go pop. In fact, they'd be poking you off it with a stick.
Maybe the other guys can hire me to stand in front of it because they'll definitely stop and say, no, don't come any close. Can the rationing begin with freebies handed out to the recipient class who got FedExed onto the island?
No arguments here.
Don't know who you're talking about at all. I'd tell you something else I wanted to ask you about, see what you think, because I've seen both ends of the stick with this, where Steve from Agenda Free TV is like, he won't even let people comment about it now in his chat. And it's the Netanyahu, is he dead AI videos, conspiracies going absolutely nuts at the moment.
I don't think he's dead. And I'll tell you why. If he was dead, they would use it as political capital to galvanise the Israelis to do more. So never let a good death get in the way of an agenda. If that guy had been planted under a building and blown up, you would know about it. He would be portrayed in a manner that allowed him to go further and bomb more people and do it quicker. So I don't think he's dead for that reason, because there's never been any political capital made. Although on the swing side, you wouldn't want to give kudos to the Iranians. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
What's everyone else think of this in the chat? You must have seen some of the video. I've seen some of the videos, and it's pointing to like a shadow on something which is moving at a different speed of him. Apparently one video he had 6 fingers, so it's obviously AI. I mean, my middle of the road conspiracy would be he's wounded or he's injured in some way, and that would be the only reason to create videos like that. I don't know.
It's the moon landings all over again.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on that. I love
my chat keeps locking up.
Guy keeps locking up.
Yeah, I can't keep refreshing the chat. So if I miss anybody's messages,
I'll miss loads. If they can put it in capitals, or they can use the super chat on either one of our channels. You can use the super chat, guys, if you're getting missed. Welsh Prepper, is that normal for a meeting for you? What was that? Sorry, I just saw a question mark, so I highlighted it. Cobra decides it will be when downstream companies tell them supply is falling, can't put a timeline on it.
I'll tell you what, whatever they decide to do, it's probably half-arsed and too fucking late, because that's their track record back to front.
Yeah. I was being sarcastic, but I do work on a lot of vehicles that are considered to be part of critical infrastructure. Interesting. There you go. So you'll have a mechanic job for a while at least. Why are you sitting on the floor hiding behind the screen banner? That's to you, Brian.
I'll answer that because I've not changed out my work fleece, and now and again my employer's name keeps appearing on it, so I'm actively trying to block that. So that's why I'm sitting hunched over.
Otherwise, McDonald's will be very upset. I'm sorry.
Oh no! I'll never make the price counter at this rate.
Just keep selling them 2 apple pies. You'll be all right.
That's when the big bucks start coming in.
Mossad would be rewatching the AI to make sure they were perfect.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's pretty common sense.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the problem is, this isn't technology that's inaccessible right now. Anyone can make an AI video. I think somebody posted on the Discord.
How rude. Anybody?
any idiot can make AI videos these days. Honestly, you could be a techno dinosaur and you can still do it. No, but somebody posted on the Discord like Kim Jong-un, Trump, and Putin.
That was pretty good. That
all together. So that was interesting. Maybe it could be the Franz Ferdinand moment to bring in their prophecy. He is seen as the last PM of Israel.
I don't know.
In a time of war, AI will be used as the norm. No leader will disclose their locations. Well, for some reason, Iran does.
See, they think they got them with the traffic lights.
What's that?
They think that they used the traffic lights to kill the Iranian leadership. The traffic light they used the cameras and traffic lights, and it was registering their movements. They'd infiltrated the traffic management. So on their traffic lights, they had all that kind of stuff, and they used that to monitor where all the leaders were going around the town.
I mean, I hate to point out the obvious, but surely one of them's got to realize, hang on, you making me what? Supreme leader? Okay, which is the deepest bunker we've got? I live there now.
The worry is that if they'd any sense after the last time, when the no more nuclear weapons are potential, last year when everyone was blown up, that would put Bob the Builder to shame, because all of a sudden they're a threat again. That notwithstanding, we must have some sort of distributed command now. Otherwise, we're killing everybody that can tell them to stop shooting, which doesn't strike me as a good idea.
No, but Trump said today that, I don't know if it's today or last night, but I heard today that Trump said it's not going to be long and they're going to be out of there. So, do you see how does this end? Does this end with a glowing, burning space that used to be Iran? Or does it end with the 52nd state being Iran?
I don't think that would be viable, because when there's a strategic shift to the Pacific, because China's the devil at the moment, then I don't think they'd want to commit that much force to Iran. But the problem is, if you're going to kick the anthill over and then say 2 or 3 weeks later, that's it, job done, we've bombed them into the Stone Age, okay, that's fine as a premise. But what happens when you go away and they're still shooting missiles? Because that's what's happening now.
Yeah, but they already did that the first time when they said they've obliterated the nuclear option.
But that was a gentleman's agreement of retaliation. They fired missiles into Israel. They fired missiles into American bases in the Middle East, but nobody was really hurt. It was everybody can save face here. What's happened now, nobody's saved face because they killed everybody. So even if the US decides to pull back now and go, right, that's it, we've won, we don't need to put boots on the ground, we've flattened everything, we can go back home, that's great, that works fine. However, the people that are still left in the Middle East, so all your allies in Saudi and things, they're still getting shot on a daily basis. So you can't cut and run now, and you're effectively stuck there. So you need a negotiated settlement. However, while all this is going on, we are day after day, week after week, God forbid, month after month of the Strait effectively blocked, which will be crippling to the world economy.
Yeah. So Alan said in our fireside that last time we had the fuel strikes, we were 6 days off economic collapse in this country. Similar sort of direction, do you think?
Well, we're getting more fuel and products from the States now in LNG tankers, but we've also got less natural production. We're getting more oil and products from Norway and Europe, but we've got less domestic production. And we've just shut down the last refining capacity in Scotland last year. So we might be getting more from here, we might be getting more from there, but locally, we've got nothing left. So I don't know how that's going to go, but I'll just put those cases out there that we might be getting more from other sources, but domestically, everything's in shit state. So I genuinely can't tell you how that'll go.
I mean, let's get this straight. We can't just... what's the fix? Because I'm assuming we can't just go, oh, we'll just turn that plant back on.
No. There'll be pipelines need to be purged. There would have to be maintenance checks, repairs carried out. The people that were skilled and paid that have went to other jobs, can you attract them back? Can you attract the prohibitive taxes that's in place that means it's not profitable for oil companies to drill? Are you going to get rid of them? We've basically demonised the oil industry for the last 6 years, so they don't want to drill. It's not that there's no oil there, there's just no money in it for them because they're getting taxed to death.
But at least there's no idiots sat on the M25.
Yeah, they're all sitting in number 10.
Yeah, that's about right. What is Mike wearing? Is that a stab vest in the home? Have you upset the missus? No, it's just a Gold's Gym jumper. There's not. I'm not sure.
Here's something in the chat. Lol, Trump is on about dropping a nuclear bomb in Iran. Okay, that's comforting. I've not seen that yet. I'll look for that later.
I mean, this is what I said. So for me, he's got 3 options, right? He's got the Iranian method of just stopping and declaring victory and saying he won, whether he did or not. He's got option 2 of boots on the ground, potential political suicide, coffins coming home, stars and stripes draped over the top of them. Or 3, irradiate the place, because you cannot successfully beat. We've said you can't beat a fundamental ideology, but they're underground. Look at the pictures of Gaza. Look how flat it was,
and they were still coming out like termites.
Yeah.
Let's consider your points one by one then. So option 1, we kind of spoke about. You could call a halt and say, job done, like Bush did, war over, major combat operations are over. There's still troops in Iraq now.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you could do that. You could take everybody home. The carriers go home. The subs park up. It's home for tea and medals, right? Who's to say they're going to stop shooting?
Yeah.
They've already said, well, we're in it for the long haul. And they're still shooting. So do you cut and run and leave your allies there getting shot to shit and you go home and say it's a victory, that's not really viable. Option 2, boots on the ground. The coastline, for that amount of coastline to try and take it and hold it and push back a security perimeter, that's not viable. You're talking tens, if not hundreds of thousands of troops to cover that much surface area to push back artillery, mobile missile launchers, ballistic missile launchers even further. But the drones you'd need to push back. That'd be easy to push back because they've got shorter legs. But the ballistic launchers and stuff, you're hundreds of miles away. So you'd be hoping to push out a security perimeter, maybe put in your own air defence assets on the Iraqi land, Iranian land, and then hope you've not got suicide bombers, conventional military attacks. That's not going to work. No. And the allies that you've got, who you've pissed off for the last year by telling them they're all worthless, well, they don't want to get involved because you never asked them before you did it. The first they knew there was a problem was when hundreds of thousands of their own citizens were stuck in a fucking war zone. So, understandably, they're a tad miffed. So, and the third option, the nuclear option, I don't know. I don't know if they'd consider that. That's how I can't call it.
So part of me thinks he wants to go down in history. Whether that's creating a new state from Greenland, whether that's liberating Canada from the evil clutches of liberalism, whether it's anything like that, whether it's purchasing Scotland, he wants to go down in the history books and to use a nuclear weapon like that. He would, for good or for bad, he would go down. The other option of that, though, is him pulling out, saying it's all done, and Israel using the nuclear weapon. Now, let's keep in mind, Trump's had a conversation with Putin, and sanctions have started to be lifted from Russia. That was mentioned, and then no one's really talking about it since. But that is a huge alarm bells for me.
Yeah, because nobody's got their Iranians back anymore. Their primary backer, who they've been buying drones off, is effectively making more money by selling it back in the open market. There's been a backdoor deal done.
But is that part of that deal? Is, by the way, we might end up nuking them. So don't worry if you see a ICBM flying over.
The political cost to that, to him personally, and Western governments and would be huge. I wouldn't like to think the number of martyrs you would make and how risky it would be even use public transport, whether you're in America or the UK.
Anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go to a Christmas market again, mate, that didn't have concrete bollards on the road. Is that a world we want to live in?
That's a world we're nearly living in already. You know where I live, and I see that already. Teleboy said, how long before US are properly boots on the ground? But they sent the Marine Expeditionary Force, didn't they? 2,500, I believe.
Yeah, but how much a footprint are they going to be able to hold? Also, you've got to get the logistics to them. They're going to have to be provisioned. They're going to need ammunition. You're going to need to get them out if there's any fatalities or injuries. I mean, where are you putting them? I don't see that as being... What they're going to do, take Carg Island? Okay, so if they go all the way to the back of the Gulf and they take Carg Island for its port facilities for getting the oil in and out, what about all the rest of the snaky coastline that you've got to get your ships past? Are the insurance companies going to say that's fine, you're going to take them in a convoy? France doesn't want to get involved. Britain doesn't want to get involved. Australia, Japan, Germany. Nobody wants to commit resources in terms of ships to help out with convoys.
Yeah, Country Trumpkin says the Kurds are ready to be the boots on the ground. I heard otherwise. I heard that they weren't going to do that. We should be protecting our international bases, especially in the Middle East. But again, too little, too late. Admit we look like prats. That was the other thing from Trump's questions and stuff like that. The special relationship is getting less and less special. And it almost sounds like he's now got his excuse that we knew he wanted when his Greenland stuff to pull out of NATO.
Okay, so we're not going to tell you that we're going to do a major assault in the Middle East, even to the point that you can't even safeguard your own citizens. Now, the fact that the British military presence out there is a national embarrassment is beside the point. There was no chance to beef it up. So you're not really going to get a coalition of the willing when for the last year, you've basically said everybody's an asshole, you're freeloaders and everything in between. Then you push all the buttons, blow up all the things, and then shockingly the Iranians don't roll over and go, well, actually, do you know what? We're going to keep going. Even though you've flattened everything, we're just going to go unconventional and we'll keep shooting up tankers and everything else. Oh, wait, we never thought about that. Right, you need to send us your aircraft carriers and minesweepers and everything else. These things don't turn on with a switch and they're ready to go. It's not a remote control toy. You've got people on leave, machines and maintenance cycles.
Definitely not in this country.
No, and our military's in a shit state.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do you think Starmer, it's a horrible, horrible sentence to come out of my mouth, but do you think Starmer was in the right?
No. As much as it galls me to say so, whether we want to get involved, we are involved. The US is still a major ally. The people in the UK and in the US have been friends and fought in the same trenches for decades.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Trump is allowed to piss that away, and I don't think Starmer should be allowed to piss that away. But the two of them are as bad as one another for doing that. And it's the people of the US and the people of the UK that are going to be left carrying the can. They too should not and will not be allowed to ruin a good relationship between two partners and two countries. That's another crime in itself. I think the big problem is there's no appetite in the public to commit. Most people in the UK don't want to see anything committed there. I think we should. I just don't think we can. I think the military's at such a state now that we can't do it. I think we've been forced into it, and we have to do it because of that, because our own population and bases in the Middle East are under threat. So we should be protecting them. I just don't think the UK Navy's in a position to do anything anymore.
No,
it's ruined.
It took us a week to get a ship out, right?
Yep. And it's only just arrived today.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's scary. What would he nuke? How would it advance his aims? If he nuked the mountains around Hormuz, who'd want to sail through it? I agree, Killer, but we're talking about, a man that won't lose. He can't lose this war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Politically and ego reasons. So how does he win if he doesn't nuke? Britain Navy can escort oil tankers bound for UK.
With what?
We've got plenty of inflatable rafts all over Cornwall. We can.
That wasn't meant to be condescending or flippant. I genuinely mean with what?
Yeah. No.
We're sending out river patrol boats, river class patrol boats, to escort destroyers from Russia through the English Channel. It's got a popcorn gun, no anti-aircraft ability, no surface-to-surface missiles, and that is the fleet escort. Really? Come on, guys.
Well, somebody said
fucking
today,
embarrassing.
Can we just close the channel? I was like, how? How would we enforce that? Mm-hmm. We can't stop dinghies.
There would be some screeching nutcase with blue hair protesting.
Yeah, of course there would. Because we're discriminating against all the people who want to illegally come here. I hate Starmer and his cronies, but if you start a war based on the back of a fag packet by a cadre of former news presenters and golf busies, don't come running to us when it all fucks up.
I agree to an extent. Unfortunately, we didn't choose to be in it, but we have been dragged in it. In one way or another, we're involved. Don't think that the UK isn't involved in a shooting war now. We are. We just haven't committed a lot of resources because we don't have a lot left to commit. There's British pilots actively shooting down drones and missiles as we speak now, and have been for a fortnight.
Mm-hmm.
The Navy is a shadow of itself and isn't in a position to do much. Rightly or wrongly, that's where it is.
Britannia rules the waves no longer.
It's sunk.
Yeah. President Trump said he didn't need help from some. He just wanted their response. Like I said, the excuse to pull out of NATO. What's he got to do to NATO now? Threatens to invade Greenland or Canada. Yeah. Everyone wants to know the end game.
We're talking about Grandpa Simpson's got the nuclear football, right? I hope that there's people that... He is, though. I mean, let's be honest. We've got a pensioner in charge of the remote control. He's got a cheek to talk about Sleepy Joe. It's a cult of personality in the Oval Office just now because they're all slapping him on the back. He's like Kim Jong-Trump. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my life other than Dear Leader. That is that bad.
Yeah.
If you think you can't do anything wrong and you're surrounded by happy slappers, right, and clappers, bad things are going to happen. And bad things are happening because he thinks he can do anything he likes. To an extent, he's right, because might is always right. I mean, who's going to stop him?
Mm. Well, this is the thing, right? And he's going to China in a few weeks as well to cozy up that relationship, and probably is there the only power that could stop him. You are making my point. Who then is going to escort your oil through the strait?
Nobody. Yeah, as it stands just now, nobody's going to escort it through.
Yeah.
And that includes the US. The US doesn't have enough assets in place to do that now. The carrier groups that are in there, like it or not, they're stuck. Because unless somebody comes along to help clear the minefields that may or may not be there, they ain't coming out. They're stuck in there. There's going to be a major deployment of forces just to get the forces out that are already in there.
Yeah, right. Can I clear the air because Country Trumpkin is obviously getting offended at us saying what we're saying. I think if you looked at the start, any of our videos or firesides from the start, and when Trump first got in power, we were all singing his praises. We were dying for somebody that patriotic to be in charge of the UK. But at the moment, he's creating volatile situations absolutely everywhere. So don't expect the same amount of love from all over the world when he was the president of no new wars and has turned into, we now have Venezuela. We're going to take Greenland, even though we don't need to. We're going to take Canada. We're going to bomb Iran. He's drove that wedge in, and I get, don't get me wrong. If you give me the vote again, if I was in the States and you gave me the vote again, and it was between him and Kamala, I'd still vote for him because he's good for the States. He really is. I'll give him that.
I don't disagree with his policies on immigration. Like every politician, they'll have aspects that you like and aspects that you don't like. I like what he said about people not pulling their weight in the NATO alliance. They should be paying their weight. However, he's also got weird ideas about where the money's going and where it's been spent, that he's subsidised it for years. That's not entirely true. It's not even close to being true. His figures on Ukraine are frankly laughable. And I don't really trust somebody that's went bankrupt half a dozen times to give me a lesson in economics either. If he wants allies to support him,
I don't agree with that argument, because for me, he's gone bankrupt. So have every millionaire and billionaire. Michael Jordan's missed more shots than he's made. You know.
Yeah, but they use the rules so that people that have got less money lose their money. People that have got lots of money when they go bankrupt generally keep it. It's all their suppliers further down the line and little people that can't afford to lose it, they're the ones that get fucked.
Oh yeah. I'm the web designer that gets stiffed on the bill all the time by big companies. Killer 71
Killer.
sent £5 on your channel.
Cheers,
missed
buddy.
most of this, but great to hear from you lads on the current affairs.
I don't disagree that Iran should never have had a nuclear weapon. Okay, we can agree on that. Going in and blasting the centrifuges last year, I don't have a big problem with that. If you're going to prohibit them their ability to refine uranium and all that, in premise, that's a good thing. But given that happened last year, then why is there a major shooting war now and risking American troops and also your allies who are in country on holiday and things in the UAE? I don't think that's... You don't make friends and you don't turn your back on your friends and not give them a warning. You're on a night out in a bar and you decide to start swinging punches, right? But you don't tell your friends you're going to do that. You just decide to start swinging at random. And then when it's going wrong, you go, oh, wait a minute, I need to just tag somebody in here. It's a little like that.
Good mates would already be in, you wouldn't have to tag. In the context of fuel and food chain delivery, I can see the connection. However, the West does not buy fuel from Iran. China does. WTF. I think Brian put the best analogy of that at the start of, you know, it's not where the bullet hole is, it's the entire body that bleeds, right? So
the world's economy is bleeding and the lifeblood of the world is oil. And whilst we don't get all of ours from there, we get byproducts of oil from there to make medicines, for acids, for other industrial processes. It's not just, the figures don't tell the whole story, but let's just stick to oil and distillate products. So on that basis alone, we don't buy a lot from there in terms of what we need. But other countries do on the global market, and we buy oil on the global market. So we suffer from the inflated prices and the willingness to tankers to break their contract and just fuck off from the UK en route to another port that's paying double. That's the world we're living in at the moment. The stock market requires stability so they can predict how they're going to spend their money and make their money. There's no predictability.
Man, that $5 for Mike. Brian's got plenty already.
Brian's just spent 420 quid so he can do a video for you for a power bank that he really doesn't need, that got 500 likes. Trust me, Brian needs a $5.
Much appreciated, Killer. Yeah, I do appreciate the super chats. I don't monetize these live streams just because, you know, it's not worth the aggro if we say something bad and get the YouTube police on us. Hi, Mike and Brian. Great channel you both have, and the content is brilliant. Thank you very much. Well known.
Thank you.
Unknown. US is in a proxy war with China. Iran supported by China. But he's going to China, right? In 5 weeks' time. He's got a good relationship with China. His own words.
This boils down to money.
Oh yeah. Everything does.
This all boils down to money.
Yeah.
If I seen a comment there about, I think President Trump is bringing freedom to America and Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, and if you're lucky, the UK. It depends what you mean by freedom. There's a lot of innocent people in Venezuela who did nothing wrong that are dead.
Yeah.
Cuba, okay, so their power mysteriously cut again. Are they next? Right? He slated Joe Biden for dragging the US into wars. He's already attacked Iran last year.
He's got something to do with the Cuba power cuts? I know they had power problems last year as well.
I don't think so, mate. I'm just being flippant. Their grid's in shit state. But it does him no harm to drop hints that he might have had something to do with it. It wouldn't surprise me if Cuba was invaded at this point in time. It really wouldn't. He's not bringing freedom to the US because you already have freedom. What he has done, in my opinion, I'm not picking on your comment. I'm just want to answer it. America's already got freedom.
Mm-hmm.
However, what does freedom look like? Does freedom look like if you protest that you get shot? Because that's not really freedom. Or you get arrested for dissenting comments. Shit, we've got that in the UK. I don't want that kind of freedom either. Venezuela, what about their freedom? Is that just to be taken? Cuba, their freedom is gone, maybe, if they get invaded. Iran, what about the people there that didn't do anything? It's the leadership that's poor. Where's their freedom? The UK, I'm all for it. Come over here, please. I would happily be the next state in the US, just for the Second Amendment alone, mate. I'm sold. Come over here. Forget Cuba.
Can I just quickly answer your question before you carry on? You want to know what freedom looks like? I'm going to show you what freedom looks like.
What is that, an AR? What the fuck? What am I watching? What is that?
It's just a guy in the middle of a storm holding the American flag rocking out.
Fair play.
It's like the definition of freedom.
That's just Florida in a rainstorm. I've country Tompkin. I've been to Florida in Hurricane Francis, and I was watching palm trees out the villa we were staying in, and it looked like somebody put a branch in a blender and turned it on at full speed. It was an interesting 2-week vacation.
There's a scene in the TV show Landman that explains this situation perfectly. We have a 120-year-old oil-based infrastructure, and it's in everything that exists or linked to it in some way. Great series, by the way, as well.
It's a brilliant show.
Yeah. He has the best explanation for why the wind turbines are the biggest waste of money going as well. He's great.
Again, I agree with him on that. It's not a Trump bashing podcast, this. It's an opinion.
Can I just say, it still pisses me off that he keeps calling them windmills. That's the only thing. A windmill mills. It mills flour. That's the point of it, right? They're not windmills. They're not milling anything.
They milled the engineers, I know that much. There was a few get shut down because the guy's lanyard got stuck in the generator output shaft, and it dragged him inside and just chopped him up.
Oh no! Oh dear.
That was about 5 years ago.
Wow, what a way to go! To Brian, what's your thoughts on plug-in solar meant to be banned in the UK? But what's your take on it?
So the units themselves are not banned. The same units so it's the EcoFlow Stream ones that's the kind of most common one. It's sold in Europe as a balcony solar system that you can plug into the wall. In the UK, to get round the IE regs, what I've done is said it's got to be hardwired to a breaker by a competent person. It's the same unit. It's just our rules are different. Funnily enough, we've got an abundance of bollocks regs, right? But anyway, in the UK, the same unit, you could put a plug on it, stick it in the wall. I'm not telling you to do that. And it'll work perfectly fine. It's the same unit that'll work in Germany that when it's sold there, and they plug it straight in the wall. Okay? If you put a 13 amp plug on it and stick it in the wall in the UK, that'll work just as well. But the instructions say it's got to be hardwired to a suitable breaker by a competent person. Ed Miliband, walking just stain that he is, he's now decided to market this as some sort of newfangled invention. This stuff's been out for 4 years. He's a bell end, and it's going to make no difference to the power grid in the UK because we only get sun, maybe 2 weeks out of 4.
And we're in one of them now. Woo!
Yeah, again, not where I live, Wayne. It's pissing down.
I've got sun all week here. I'm actually getting through the washing for a change. I like this one. This is good, to be fair. Everything you see around you, not provided by God, is provided by oil. That's a good line. I like that one. See, that's why I don't use condoms, Brian.
Oh, we know you don't. We know.
I'm not putting that oil on. Put a timeline on. Put a timeline on this. Fuel, food, etc. That's the difficult one. You said 2 to 3 weeks, but I genuinely think that's generous. I think the fact that mainstream media's got hold of this now, I know it's GB News. I think that over the next week, if we start, put it this way, if we see reports on Sky News and BBC this week about potential shortages if it carries on, expect the shortages the following week. Not through the oil situation, but through the panic buying they will have caused in our just-in-time delivery system.
The chap that did the interview regarding this subject yesterday, his take on it was 2 to 3 weeks if nothing changes. Nothing changes for the better. I don't know. I did say at the start of this debacle that if it went on for an extended period of time, because the question was asked on that live, how long till we see shortages in the UK in terms of gas, fuel, different things. And I had tried to give an answer then, but my timeline was basically, if it lasts over a protracted period of time, we're in for a world of hurt. Well, it's lasting over a protracted period of time. We're 2 weeks in. And if it's another 2 to 3 weeks, we will have problems, probably like you say before then. But the warning signs are here now that we're coming in for problems. And the Asian market is already suffering shortages, restrictions, and rationing. How far behind them are we? I don't know.
Yeah, because we've not got a reserve of anything, right? Our gas reserve is next to nothing. Our fuel reserve was 30 days at a push, and we've already tapped into that anyway. I don't know how much we tapped into it. There's no numbers on how much of the strategic reserve the UK actually released. It was all Europe-wide, so I don't know.
So domestically, we've got a floating reserve for like natural gas. So for your heating systems, that kind of stuff, burning your power stations. They reckoned it was 2 days to a day and a half. The figure's slightly misleading because it's a floating reserve, so it's getting topped up constantly by LNG tankers from the States and imports from Europe and also some natural production. So it's a floating reserve. However, if this had been in the winter time and we had protracted, it was down to 1 to 2 days. I think it's like 12 days. I did a video and that's how bad, I can't remember. If we'd a protracted cold spell and no wind, we would eat into our natural gas production because we require 40% of it just to keep the lights on when there's no wind, on average. I just hope we don't get another cold spell anytime soon, or we could have a real problem.
Well, we've got sun this week here, not there. And apparently it's going to drop again after that. So it could be sooner than we think. But who knows with this weather? It's going to be a snowstorm next week, and then it's going to be baking like the Caribbean the week after, usually. I mean, the answer, Mel, is we can't put a fixed timeline on this at the moment. I don't want to encourage you to panic in any way, shape, or form. That's not what we're about. We're about humor. We're about the light-hearted side of things. But we're also about helping people prepare where we can. I today spent the last of whatever cash I had on topping stuff up. Toilet roll, food, etc. Because it was better in my assets in my house than it was as cash in my pocket. And it's only like 10 days till I get paid. So it's not a big timeline, but I'd better safe than sorry. I think most preppers should be thinking about doing their checks, seeing what's short, if anything, and topping up now before you're fighting your neighbours for a bag of pasta. So that's just me, though. That's just me. Go on.
I was just looking at one of the comments. Country Trumpkin had put, "Isn't prepping just advanced prescribed rationing? We prep so that we don't have to fear rationing." Yes, it's
100%, yeah.
we prep to make our life easier for unforeseen circumstances, and the preps are generally generic to cover a whole host of bases. In this situation, I'm advocating tweaking your preps for the peculiarities of the timeline that we live in, and by that I mean potential fuel rationing or energy shortages coming down the line, which may then impact on the supply chain. So at this moment in time, with the recent report that I put a video up on today, I would encourage people strongly to keep their tanks topped up at all times with their vehicles. And if you can, maybe buying a few more bits and pieces like Mike did. It would be a good call.
Yeah. Welsh Prepper says, if straits remain closed for 2 to 3 more weeks, then fuel rationing maybe a week later, food 2 weeks after that. That's my personal opinion. I think the rationing, you might be right with that, but as soon as they say that they're going to be rationing fuel, there'll be a rush on the shops.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, the food issue is not going to be down to rationing. It's going to be down to panic buying like it always is. And it's idiots that panic buy. I'm going to panic buy and fill my trolley full of fresh milk. Oh, it's gone off in 5 days. What am I going to do? So yeah, that's what that's going to be fueled by, as far as I'm concerned anyway. So our gas reserve is Norway and continental Europe. It is piped in every night using cheap electricity.
I don't disagree with that. So on the premise of that, we will be given gas from Europe as long as Europe doesn't take it domestically first. If there's a world that kind of makes my point that a little. If you've got a worldwide shortage of products, whether it be loaves of bread or oil, domestic security will come first. They will not export stuff to the UK to the detriment of the Norwegian, German, French populace, right? That's not going to happen. So if you've got a worldwide problem that we have now, they will look after domestic first and export the rest. And anything get exported, because of the market demand, will be at a vastly inflated price.
Yep. Mark's backpacking adventures. Mark, go back to Mark's adventures. It's much easier to say. He says, let me say this right. He says, "Tippy for your bunghole. Conholio is back again."
I don't know what accent that was supposed to be. Please don't ever do that again.
It's. Have you not seen Beavis and Butthead? That's what it's from. I am Conholio. I need Tippy for my bunghole.
Yeah, I must have missed it. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sure somebody in the chat will appreciate how accurate it was. Thank you. Anyway,
right.
Back to the sensible stuff.
There's sensible
Brian,
stuff.
as I said earlier, 100% of the countries are chasing 80% of the supply. Yeah.
Yeah.
President Bob
Totally
in the
agree.
house. How you doing, Bob?
Hello, bud.
A tiny amount of DC and blind RCD back in the day. There was mega test equipment that was designed to inject DC to perform an electrical test, and that was charged off a pair of C batteries. Okay.
So when I was an apprentice, the Mega was actually a wind-up one with a handle. So when you were trying to electrocute one of the other apprentices who was holding the terminals, you were sitting winding it up like this, like an old field army telephone.
Yeah,
the
but
new
to be
ones
fair,
are more
you
fun.
were an apprentice to Tesla himself, so I mean.
Oh, you can go suck a big old bag of dicks. I'm not that old. I just look that old.
Brian was the one stood in the cage as he was cranking.
See, I pay extra for that shit now. See, the thing about it's slightly annoying because the actual power stream module, the inverter in the module is going to be feeding back into the UK supply. You're going to pee yourself again.
He must be the same age as you, Brian.
Listen, incontinence, right? You can get little pads for it now.
It's a good prep.
Sounds pish. Oh,
Sorry,
there's John
Brian.
looking for an invite.
Flip you maggot farmer. That's not how you get on the. We I'd have to change the entire stream.
I thought you were on holiday.
Yeah, I thought you were on holiday. I mean, it was supposed to be an hour long. How long are you staying on for, Brian?
I can stay on a little bit longer, or John can take my place. I'm good with either. It might be interesting to get a perspective from John from Civil Resilience. It might help your stream more.
Right.
I'm good with dropping out if you want.
No, stay on. Go on, carry on with your point before we interrupted you. Sorry, if you can remember.
You sort of made me lose the point, right? Because that's what happens when you get to a certain age. You forget things. Now you've made me look like a knob. Because I forgot what I was saying.
I've made you look like a knob. All right, okay.
And I don't need much help. I'm pretty good at it on my own.
Welsh prepper. There you are. Right, okay.
Right, we're going to. In case anybody's wondering what we're doing, John's been bitching in the chat, so he's getting an invite to come on. And most of you know Welsh Prepper for his extensive military service in RAF, where one tale of woe, there was no port in the NAFI one night, and they had to rough it in a 4-star hotel. So
that night they could only have red wine because there's no port. That's. But don't mention it when it comes on. It'll bring back trauma.
And the dinner was only 4 courses, I believe.
Jeez, what's the world coming to?
When he got into his Bentley that night to get driven back to the barracks at the chateau.
You missed it earlier, Welsh Prepper. Brian said you sit side saddle on the toilet and moan when you wipe.
Well, when the butler wipes him, as if he's going to use his own hands. The very idea.
John, I've sent it on Discord.
Right, my chat's locked up again. Let's see. So, I don't know if anybody's seen the video I put up tonight. I put one up earlier, and it was basically the whole premise of this live was more or less about the energy expert. His view was 2 to 3 weeks in the UK is in a world of hurt. So that was how it started off. I'm sure somebody's probably missed it. I found a 12 gauge works well. 12 gauge does work very well. I've got a few at home for clay pigeon shooting.
Bob says I was in the Air Force. I would cry when we ran out of champagne.
Sometimes the butler didn't starch his cravat well enough either.
I want to go to that VA meeting where they're all sat around complaining about the butlers.
Do you think he's got a starched scarf like Snoopy? There he is.
You wanted to come on to this.
Come on, bring it on. Bring on. I got all your answers.
Where's the scarf? I was waiting on you coming on with a scarf like out to here with a weld wire on it.
My wire broke when I poked the servant in the eye with it. So I'm waiting for a new one. I've sent a man off to get me another one.
Servant, not butler. That must have been serving overseas.
Staff. Sorry, I should use a generic term. Staff. Yes.
How are you doing?
Oh, it was so cold here this morning. The motor's frozen over, don't you know?
Oh dear.
No, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Yeah, I've been on holidays, and tomorrow I've been summoned up to Edinburgh, so I'm off to Edinburgh tomorrow morning.
Oh dear.
Meeting. Yeah.
Oh,
that's all.
Few shortages.
I did not say that. You may think that. I can possibly comment.
I think it's a good bet.
That's Anyway,
yeah.
Let's move on.
I'll read between the lines.
Don't. Anyway, I got boxes. Oh, someone asked me a question.
Yeah, question for John. If you were recalled, would you personal gentleman have to come back to serve to valet for you?
Absolutely, they're tied to me for life. Yeah, they're on an indenture. It's a bit. I was going to say something. I was going to say something quite controversial, and I stopped myself. Yeah,
You're on
That's
the
my
right
job.
podcast. This is why this is the one that's called Bad Preppers. It's fine. It's not just because we don't have wood burning stoves. It's
oh, I miss my wood burning stove.
yeah, I miss mine that I've never had.
I just got an open fire now, and I'm not even going to have that in a couple of weeks. So
I'll bet you
Anyway,
have to put your own logs on it these days.
I've got a man. I got a man for everything.
He's getting called to Edinburgh. He's going to be living in the bunker soon. It's fine.
I'm staying in a Holiday Inn Express.
It's the same as
Oh.
a bunker then.
Peasants.
Do they know what you used to do, John? How dare they?
I'm coming out in a fever already. With get this, with the public.
Dun dun dun. I need
Anyway, they're not
sound.
anyway, your viewers aren't here to hear about my tales of woe. They want to talk about current affairs. Come on, let's talk some current affairs.
Well,
Did you see the video I put up today?
You've just absolutely thrown a spanner in it by saying you're getting called up to Edinburgh tomorrow. So now, like, me and Brian are both counting our pennies under the table. Yeah, we got to go and buy some stock.
I did see your video today, Brian. Yes, thank you. Very good. I think you hit exactly the right tone. That you know, and yourself, Mike. We're not trying to induce panic. You're just
No.
trying to say, be watchful, be mindful. If you can, keep your fuel topped up. I do that anyway. That's what you're taught in the military. It's second nature to me now. But you know, get your mum to fill her car up, get your brother to fill his car up, whatever. Anything that's going to make life a little bit easier if it goes horribly wrong for a few weeks.
How likely do you think that is?
I think if, and I put this in the text in the chat, if the situation in Iran is not resolved in the next few weeks, I think we're going to start to feel the pain. I don't think, and it's not going to be a rapid spiral into lawless chaos. It will just be the UK government. This is me speaking as an individual now. The UK government historically has been very, very cautious about implementing any sort of controls. So yeah, they will not want to put rationing in place or tell people they can't get fuel whenever they want anymore. Some of the examples around the world are good at the moment. I think it's Sri Lanka's introduced a system where if you've got a number plate
put that
where
on screen before,
ended in an odd number, you can go on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And
Sri Lanka's a QR code. Myanmar is order even number plates.
Yeah, that's it. And one country's gone non-working day on a Wednesday, so the government offices are open.
Pakistan
aren't closed 3 days a week, so that's another sensible, low-level option which the UK might take. So hopefully the UK government is looking at these things that are already being implemented and drawing up ideas. But it will be COBRA. COBRA has what they call the STAC, the Scientific Advisory Council, who are made up of experts from whatever the thing is. Last time it was COVID, so they're all medical experts. This time it'll be fuel distribution operators, downstream oil and electric companies, the people who know what they're talking about.
See the guy who I quoted today?
Yeah.
He's been the policy advisor for 2 successive governments on this sort of stuff. And he's the guy that's saying 2 to 3 weeks of this could lead to that. So he's been on like that thing you're talking about.
Yeah, STAC. Yeah. As I say, and the Prime Minister, I genuinely believe, isn't going to be like it is in the States. He's going to listen to those people. He's going to listen to the experts because it's all recorded and people remember. And they look back to Boris Johnson and the way he handled COVID, and they'll hopefully have learned from that.
Hopefully.
He's a comedian. I've just asked our lovely AI friends, is there panic buying happening in Sri Lanka? And the answer is simply yes. There is panic buying occurring in Sri Lanka due to concerns over fuel shortages and economic uncertainty. So this is what I was saying, that 2 to 3 weeks I don't think as soon as they say anything about fuel, that's going to reflect on the food a lot quicker than 2 weeks later, as far as I'm concerned. That's what I think, John.
Yeah, so I should have explained better. I think I'm not talking about the food that's already in the shops now. I'm talking about the supply of food into the UK.
Right.
So there will be that initial panic buy where people will be scrambling for toilet roll and things they've never eaten before, and then there will be that gradual slowdown in importation of goods. I mean, logistics companies are clever. They will send the product to wherever they're going to get the most profit. And UK is one of the most expensive countries in the world. So they might decide, well, UK can have all of our food because that's where we're going to make the most money. They're not going to make as much money in Sri Lanka. That's for sure. So the logistics system works in peculiar ways. Yeah.
Interesting. I still think we're going to see the shortages before that, based on the panic buying as well, though. Just on a local level, maybe not the supply coming into the country, but we know it's a just-in-time system, right? So if everybody suddenly goes to Tesco right now and buys one of everything, it'll be stripped bare in no time.
That's happening in my hometown now. The petrol station gets one delivery a week on a Monday, and it's usually lasts 7 days. It's lasting 3 days because everyone is buying it up straight away. And I was in there tonight. And I said, "Have you got a shortage of supply?" He says, "No, just can't get it here quick enough. People keep buying it quicker than we can get it in."
Yeah, madness, isn't it? It's absolute madness. So it's like we said before, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy as soon as we start talking about this thing.
Yeah, but I think Brian's video today hit the right tone. It's just cautious mindfulness, watchfulness. Just don't be caught out, because it's not as if you haven't been given warning.
Wait till you see my video tomorrow of me running into a petrol station, screaming and punching people out the way to fill containers, going, we're all gonna die.
Can you try to fill a plastic bag as well? I'd love to see that.
I'm gonna get the Asda one that's got the air holes in the bottom.
You've got it slightly skewed though. If you're running towards a petrol station, people will be punching you so it doesn't catch fire, so you don't get near it. That's what would most likely happen.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah. Bob says, "Have you seen price gouging on fuel in the UK?" Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
We're not just like the small independent garages, but like the big companies and stuff like
From
that.
day one.
Shell are like the first ones to go whack prices up straight away.
The hour that was announced that there was any problems, as soon as the first bomb dropped in Iran, they started screwing us with the prices.
And the UK government called them out for it, and all of us, they're outraged at how you could accuse us of such behaviour, and we're going to boycott your meeting. They did. Oh, I'm surprised.
I don't know where this reputation comes from.
What's like a superhero nickname for you, Mike? It wouldn't be the Dynamo. It's something else. It's something like Dynamo. Blazer. Inferno. The Inferno.
Captain Lucky.
The irony.
Ironic superhero.
The Impregnator. Captain Jizz.
It's not a superhero. You want
ladies' present, Brian.
I think money is going to crash. That's why land and resources are getting so valuable. Did you catch the fireside, John, on Sunday?
A little bit. I was watching it from my 3 3/4 star hotel room, if you remember.
All right. Oh yeah, the slumming it, roughing it.
Yeah, only a little bit. Yeah.
I bet the TV was less than 40 inches as well.
It was massive.
Oh,
it was bigger than the bed.
Alan mentioned that the last, obviously, when we had the fuel strikes in 2000, was it?
2000, I think. Yeah.
2001,
something like that.
According to the experts, we were 6 days away from like an economic collapse because of it.
And they never told anybody.
And they never
Funnily
told
enough.
anybody. Yeah. I'm sure you can join us and not say fuck all, John. Thanks. No, but what my question is this worse than then?
I don't think it is worse than then. At the moment, again, we only get 6% of our, petrochemical imports from the Gulf. We've got a much more robust supply line across the Atlantic with the LNG, as Brian mentioned earlier, with those big tankers that look like they got massive balloons on them. And America is very willing to sell it to us at an inflated price because we pay, I think, double what the US pay for it. Norway is quite happy to keep selling to us. France is, quite happy to sell us gas coming up from the continent. So I think we're in a different position to where we were in the 2000s. As Brian said earlier, we are in a worse position to produce petrochemicals, petro products domestically. Grangemouth has gone to an import only. I tell a boy, and that would take months to bring back online. I put in the chat earlier they had 4 crackers at Grangemouth. Cracker tower basically splits the oil up and makes into the different petrochemicals. One of those goes offline for routine maintenance. It takes a month to bring it back because of all the dials and gauges and everything they have to turn down and filter and cool and clean. So just routine maintenance took a month. To restart one now, bearing in mind it's probably been sat still doing rusting for 6 months, it would take months to bring that back up.
Yeah.
But we do still have oil refineries in the UK. I think we've still got 4, I think.
Right. Yeah. John, if things get really bad, could it adversely affect the inbreeding in your village?
We've got a sign up outside our village saying incomers welcome because we need to expand the gene pool.
I like that.
Can you not tell from my nose?
I know a guy for that.
Condoms not required.
Oh, mate, you can go.
What are not required? I don't understand these foreign words. No, you get the YouTube police on everyone else. There you go. We have Venezuela oil selling on the cheap right now.
Yeah, bet you do.
And
Cuba will be an interesting one to watch because their electrical systems just collapsed, hasn't it, from a lack of oil. So just keep an eye on that if you just want to see sort of the social trends.
Oh,
Caroline said before, yet to verify, but watched a short earlier saying Trump wants to take Cuba.
Oh.
He's mentioned that before, though. In fairness, he has mentioned it.
Yeah, Venezuela, Iran, Cuba, then Canada.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Canada.
The 54 states.
The Canadians don't want Canada.
I'm going to go and visit Canada next year just to make sure I don't want to move there.
If it's still Canada.
might just stay.
I'm just checking what I started here. Europe has been taking US money and protection for decades, whether you like it or not. Not surprised if America pulls out of Europe and leaves us all to our own devices. Yeah, I mean, I still think that's what his plan is.
Yeah, I won't be surprised at all until the next election. I put in the chat earlier, Starmer has been advised or decided that distancing himself from Trump is less damaging than aligning himself with Trump because Trump has become toxic. And I think that would happen with NATO. If Trump pulled the US out of NATO, I think NATO light would still exist because that's the only way you can have collective defense. Just wait for the next president, who'll probably be a Democrat, and invite him back in again.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. This is where places like China and Russia have an advantage over us, right? Because they can plan more than 4 years.
Absolutely, yeah.
Without everything being completely reversed and thrown at the towel in sort of thing. But this is the thing. We're going to be at odds. You say this, but we're going to be at odds anyway because Trump out, no doubt, more left-leaning president in, because that's what happens. They all want change, and then it doesn't change, and they all want change, and it doesn't change.
A bit like ours.
We're going to have the opposite. We're going to have the left going out and the right coming in. So we're still going to have that butting of heads.
Yeah, but if you go around the left far enough, you meet the far right.
I've got to mention this. Country Trump kind of said, Starmer is not truly recognised as a political genius over there, is he? No, he is not, my friend.
No.
He is not recognised as that at all.
No.
That political genius. I wouldn't say any politician's a genius. Least of all.
He's a moron leading a collective of similar morons. And when we kick him out in 4 years' time, we'll get slightly less useless morons, but morons the same, because British politics is a seesaw of similar morons that lie that they'll be less of a moron than the other moron till they get in power and they all become morons. So there's a similar trend.
I've got the solution. I can fix our political system. I've got the solution. No, John, it's viable. It's viable.
Does it involve Guy Fawkes?
It involves not paying our MPs £100,000 a year, because that's what makes them go from I want to get into politics to do the right thing to I'm not going to rock the boat because I quite like this cushy salary.
And the massive
You know what
pension.
MPs should get paid? They should get paid exactly what they think the national living wage is, because we can live on it according to them. So that's what they should
They
get.
think it's £100,000, Mike. That's the problem.
No, but if that's the case, the national living wage, I should be getting 100,000. No, but they should. It should be a minimum wage, national living wage job. I would still let them. I'm not a monster. They could still have their expenses for going down there and stuff like that. But just
Mike,
like
with your family allowance, you must be in 100 grand anyway.
Yeah.
I would be on more money if I stopped working. Genuinely,
Yep.
This ridiculous government would pay me more to be unemployed right now. I'd have more expendable income every month if I was unemployed right now.
Mike, you know that you know that AI machine you got there, Mike? Can you stick in it? Can you stick in it? How many kids do you need before you become a higher rate taxpayer on benefits?
Him sticking things into things is why he's in this problem in the first fucking place. He needs to stop sticking things in places.
I might get Mrs. Welsh Prepper to AI that. I'm going to shout at the door to her now. How many kids do you need to be a higher rate taxpayer on benefits?
Well, I mean, they've lifted the 2-child limit, right? So that's the whole thing.
It's technically possible.
You can retire now.
I can retire.
It's got a reality YouTube series written all over it. Here's Mike. Yeah. Mike is unemployed with his 63 children, living in a 2-bedroom, living in a 2-bedroom ex-council house.
He's been busy because last time I was on, he was 39.
TV's been very poor though.
We need an extension putting on the back of the house, right? Get upstairs, love. You're getting pumped.
So, do a question for you, John, if you can answer it. Do you think they would? My issue is mainly with hauliers going under with the increased fuel costs. Do you think there would be a case where the government have to step in and stop them going to the wall, or involve, even if they brought in the military? There's not enough class 1, class 2 drivers to support the deliveries in the UK. My main concern is not food imports to the UK, is food import distribution when the supply chain breaks. That's my big concern.
Yeah, so this is all open source. The government does have a fleet of tankers that they can activate. It's in a car park, in the north of London somewhere, and they, with about 3 weeks' notice, they can generate enough military, not just army, but navy and air force drivers to drive those tankers. That's part of the National Emergency Plan for Fuel, and they basically try to get enough fuel to designated fuel stations to keep the Cat 1 and Cat 2 responders going. The problem with that is that as soon as a tanker turned up, every man and his dog from Joe Public will be at the petrol station clogging it up, and there's no plan for managing the designated fuel stations.
It's the British way. That sounds about right.
They wouldn't stay there on guard to make sure it was only responders.
No. On the food distribution, I've got practical experience of this. When they had the storms, I think it was Storm Arwen, and all the roads were closed, they basically transferred it to the trains because you can haul a hell of a lot more on a train. And they were sending basic supplies up to Inverness, Tesco Inverness. They were basically sending milk, bread, and pasta, that sort of thing. They were prioritizing all the basics for life rather than your 16 different types of quinoa.
The way our train system works, the bread will be out of date before it gets to Scotland.
No, to be fair, it's actually really efficient because it mostly works at night. When they need to, the food distribution companies, the big supermarkets, they can be very quick to react and very efficient, to be fair to them. But they're making money out of it.
Brian Keane's got a question. Is it all a plan by European leaders to stay out of it or stay out of all the wars and build up a European army?
No. Not a chance.
Right, so I can answer that. I think the European leaders have decided to try and damage limit Trump's influence until he gets impeached in November or ends his term in what now 3.5 years' time, is it? The European army concept, I mean, I was in the Air Force for 20 years and they were trying to get a European army going for almost my entire time there. The problem is that European countries are committed to NATO because that's what they're used to, and all this European army thing is just on paper. The UK army, the UK armed forces had squadrons and battalions assigned to the European army, but it was on paper only.
Steiner met Zelensky today. Why?
I'm assuming that's Starmer met Zelensky, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Granny Hammer.
Ask him for some drone expertise.
Iran and Russia are brothers in hatred, Zelensky tells MPs. So there you go. The Iranian and Russian regimes are brothers in hatred, Zelensky has told MPs and peers as he warned about the dangers of drone warfare. So he basically, Zelensky, if I was in his shoes, I'd be absolutely fuming at the moment because they've gone from sanctioning Russia to, reducing their... Now we're lifting sanctions because it suits us. And
double the cost per barrel.
Yeah, Russia's income is going to improve. They'll be able to invest more in their ambitions.
Although I hear they've got supply problems with one of their drone suppliers.
What, Iran?
Yeah.
Surely China's mass producing them at this stage, though.
China will be selling the parts. That way they can say they're not selling them the weapons.
DIY IKEA drones.
But it's the believable lie.
The propellers come in on one ISO container, and then the wings, and then the body on the next one, and then the tail on the next one. We're not selling them weapons.
Exactly, it's a believable lie. And like the same years ago, they used to say NATO warships didn't have nuclear weapons on them, which they didn't, because they didn't assemble them till they put the warhead on them. And some of the surface ships, they were still there. It's just that the believable lie was, well, it's not a viable weapon because this part sits on this shelf and it's not bolted on. It's all bollocks. This is the same, the supply situation. We know China's giving them stuff, but we turn a blind eye because we buy the same stuff from China.
Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. Whenever we get outraged that there's a Russian spying in the UK, we got a British spy in Russia.
Yep.
And they understand that. The governments understand that.
Yeah. Country Trumpkins with me. I've said many times that law should read that no elected official can make more than the people they represent or pay in benefits.
100%.
I think anyone who wants to be a politician should be automatically barred from being a politician. Because they're not in it for the right reason.
Like jury duty, it's like open envelope.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh God, I got to be a politician.
Oh, for God's sake.
I've got an idea, right? And I think this is the winner. It's only applicable to men, unfortunately.
Hang on. Before you announce this, I've still got this here.
So if you want to get into politics and you're an elected official, part of that is you've got to allow electrodes to be implanted in your bollocks, right? And everybody at home has got a button.
Why
Right?
did I think this
Right?
might be sensible?
Right? That is sensible. Hear me out. Just let me go with this, right? Let me go. No, this is legit. So you're an elected official, and you've got a shock probe inserted in your nuts, right? And every constituent member, right, that's voted you in, has got a button. And if enough of them press this button once a week, you get an electric shock right to the nuts. So every time that you fuck up for the people you're supposed to represent, if enough of them press the button, you get an electric shock right in the nuts, at least once a week. Now, why can't we? It's a viable system.
It's motivating. Yeah.
How does this work? How does this work for the Angela Rayner's of the world? I mean, I'm sure she's got a big set of bollocks on her, but
But it's technically possible to become the MP of your constituency with 32% of the vote. So that's going to be a lot of people who've got a red button that didn't vote for you in the first place.
You've just got to play those buttons like a piano then. On a Friday night when they've all messed up, you'll be like this. It'll be like Mozart doing this along the keyboard. In fact, the National Grid would probably be dimming. They would need that many recharges of their nuts, right? We'd probably have power problems.
you're adding more strain to the infrastructure, right?
Mike's fail of the week.
That's your fail.
Oh, I thought it was a good idea.
I mean, yeah, we're teetering on the edge of power as it is. So, Brian, you got a £5 super chat on your channel over there. The company I work for was just bought by a Dutch company for its anti-drone technology.
Thank you very much, Bruce. I appreciate the support, buddy. That's interesting.
Anti-drone technology is just jamming the RF waves, right? Or the HRF waves kind of thing.
But not now, because the evolution of that is trailed out wires, like the old TOW missile launchers, where they've got the really thin cable dispenser on the arse end of the missile. They're sending fibre optically controlled drones, and have been for the last couple of years, so that they're unjammable.
That just seems mental. That's like getting rid of your remote control car to get the wired one that's crap from Argos for a £5.
And those tiny those fibre wires are all littered in Ukraine, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, thousands of them all lying over the fields.
Really?
Sometimes the best tech is old tech.
Shame it's not copper wires. I know quite a few people that would have cleaned that up for them.
Well, I'm just wondering if we're going to see another invasion of Ukraine, right? There'll be thousands of vans saying tree surgeon and tarmac that are going to, you'll see them going across the Fulda Gap through Germany and just taking all the wire.
That's it. Can we just tape the button down, says Pete.
Yes.
Tape the button down, nice.
Oh, excellent. They currently protect they currently protect UK airports and other sites. There you go.
What do?
Not sure.
Against the drones. It was mentioned that the company worked for.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. We did a course last year doing drone pilot courses, and one of the guys that was doing the course on the third day, he'd been across to the States doing a course on anti-drone capturing drones. Basically, the drone, there was perimeter protection around whatever site you put it in, and it would detect an incursion from a drone, and this other drone would take off and fly out there and just grab it with a net and bring it back.
There's a prison in the Netherlands where they use hawks, like literally live things here, sit on your arm. And it flies around the inside of the prison, and as soon as it sees a drone, he's on it, and he goes and snatches it out of the air. That's a true story. You can look that up on the internet.
Imagine trying that in Ukraine, and it grabs one that's got an explosive on it, and speckled Jims all over the road.
Oh, I do miss speckled
Just
Jim.
lands in your trench cooked.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or it brings back the drone with a live warhead on it.
Yeah, I love it. That's if they start using cats for it.
Spits out in your lap.
Brought you a present. Kaboom.
Jesus
you have
Christ.
to keep the crossbar on the target till impact. Bit like a Betamax with a remote control cable attached to it.
Yes,
Oh,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, Whiskey Jack's just giving away his age.
I never had the Betamax because I'm not as old as you two. But
That's
Seasoned. The phrase is seasoned.
my
Experienced.
first VHS player was a top loader, and it had the remote on a wire, but the wire was like 10 meters long, so it didn't matter where you were in the room; it could just stretch until the cat chewed it. Yeah, Betamax.
Well, I will probably call it and leave you to it at this point, and get ready for work tomorrow.
I think I'm going to have to do the same anyway, so just give me a minute and we'll end.
No
it.
worries.
Leave me in charge. Mike,
Yeah.
what could possibly go wrong?
Viva El Presidente.
Have I been banned? Can see my comments. Yes, I can see your comments, but there's 203 people in here, so I can.
No,
only
they're
pick
there, I
out
see them.
a few. Yeah.
Why do whales beach
um,
themselves? That was the last one I saw.
I don't know. I'll ask my ex-wife. Is Brian stocking up on Pepsi Max? This is Andy's metric for the end of the world.
I've got stock. We're all good.
he's good. Yeah, I think we will end it because I've got work tomorrow as well. Despite me, I should just go on to claim for all my kids instead. But I won't.
Are you having another live tomorrow night? On Wednesday night? Because I'm in Edinburgh, so I'll be able to watch you on my massive telly.
Well, I won't be on Wednesday. On Wednesdays, I do my football channel. So yes, I'll be live, but talking about Sunderland. So
Really?
every Wednesday. So you won't catch me live tomorrow. Brian might. I don't know.
Unless things
There's plenty of
change,
news every
probably
day.
not. I only
Yeah.
did I only did the one today because the Chaps report was excuse me, it was pertinent, and people should know that somebody who's in the know and 30 years of industry experience has said if this continues, the UK is going to have a problem in 2 to 3 weeks. So that was the premise of today's video, and the live has more or less been off the back of that.
Well, thank you for everyone that's joined us. Thank you to my guests for joining us on this random one tonight. There's definitely plenty to go on. I think the bottom line is don't panic. While you're watching, while we've got you, Brian's channel members, there'll be a giveaway soon of an awesome knife. So make sure if you're not already joined his channel, it's like 99p. So it's cheaper and
Oh, the
better.
knife.
Than it. Yeah, no, the membership, the knife's 90.
The knife's 90 quid.
Yeah. So that's why I'm a member of his channel. So make sure you go and join that, get involved with that, and he's doing that every month, and I'm doing the same on Patreon. We're putting together a Gerber box this month, which has got the Gerber axe with the saw built in. It's going to have a multi-tool by Gerber and a couple of other Gerber goodies and some other stuff in there, so that's cool, and that is on my Patreon. So that's the best way to support both channels. Go and check out Brian's and mine. John's not started his yet.
I'm giving away boxes of random household shit that I would normally take to the recycling centre.
Enter now by going to
By not entering.
But yeah, so really appreciate everyone and the support that you've given. John, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Please stay in touch with us after tomorrow. We promise to not divulge it any further. So if you don't see any lives from me and Brian in the next 2 weeks, we've dug ourselves into a bunker because of what John's told us.
Oh
Any
dear.
final thoughts on the subject, Brian, before you go?
Just we prep so that we don't panic. So there's no need to panic because you prep, right? The self-fulfilling prophecy is people that don't prep panic. It works in reverse for us. So just do what we do and everyone's going to be fine.
It'll all be fine. There you go. Quote him and sue him when it's not. John, any final thoughts?
Just echo what Brian said. The reason we prep is so we don't have to panic. Just have a quick review of your prep, see if there's any gaps that are easy to fill, but don't spend your monthly wage on it, because there is a chance life will carry on as normal.
All right.
So,
My final thoughts are: don't listen to these two. Panic, scared, be afraid. Watch every one of my videos. Subscribe, become a member. Otherwise, you're all going to die.